You should get health insurance. Yeah, so next question comes from Odie Games, who says, how do each of you prefer to approach other streamers about collabs and co-op streams?
I don't.
Hey, Hunter, you want to stream sometime?
Honestly, it's a strange thing for me. I think I'm somewhat unique in this. I don't enjoy multi-streaming with video games. I love stuff like this, and so it's a bit of a different thing. This feels like asking people to have a conversation, which is what I'm doing by asking them to have a. We're already right, so it's a bit of a natural extension there. So I don't know. What do the three of you do?
So I think there's different contexts about this question, right? If you're asking this question, it sounds like you're thinking about going up to somebody that you don't really know very well. If you know the person pretty well, I usually have their phone number or I have their Discord. I'm like, hey, you want to do something this weekend? Let's play some. I just hit up Sir Slaw the other day. Want to play some Dauntless this weekend? He's like, yeah, sure. And then we pretty much went about it like that. If you're talking about streaming or with somebody you may not know very well, it's about the introduction and developing a relationship. Hey, so I watch your stream a lot. This is who I am. This is what I do. I tend to do some collab streams. If you want to watch some, here's some links. If you want to do something, maybe we're around the same size and help each other out, or I just think we'd get along very well. Maybe we can do something sometime and sort of present real things like I streamed this day at this time and it'd be a good slot for us to play some PUBG together.
Do you think that given the nature of the space that it's somewhat similar to normal friendship stuff? Like I wouldn't go up to somebody on the street and just ask them if they wanted to go to the movies. I would get to know somebody first and see if we're compatible, if we're friends first, and then go, hey friend, would you like to go and do something with me because we're friends?
For sure.
100%.
I mean, I think that's an important first step. Like establish yourself in that person's channel, like become a regular, interact with them on Twitter, like get to know them and show that you're not just like looking to like especially if it's someone that's like larger than you, a little bit larger than you, you don't want it to seem like you're just like asking for their exposure, right? So be genuine about it and try to get to know them and be friends with them first is like definitely the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
No, go ahead.
Oh, go on. All right.
Cyborg, you go ahead.
With me, I don't mind doing stuff like that, but like you said, it has to be for me, it really has to be somebody I know that I can bounce off of well, because with my stream, anything can happen, and there have been occasions where I've been drawn away from the game because the chat have just like rioted until, I don't know, we've done this or we've like included this in the game or we've changed this around. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I wouldn't want to have a multi-stream with another streamer and feel bad for holding them up. I think that worries me in case something was to happen on the stream, or let's say someone just donated a massive amount. If I was in a multi-stream, I would find it really rude to not give that person enough time to be like, thank you so much. And if you're like just going, oh thanks, and then get that game, it's not enough, but I don't want to hold up the other streamer, and it gets a bit iffy. That's why it needs to be somebody you can bounce off of well, or who can talk to your community as the same way you do, and vice versa.
Right.
If that was to happen.
I think there's something to that. I think that most streamers that are used to co-streams are used to push to mute, which is the golden key for any co-op stream ever.
Which you can set up for your Stream Deck. I just figured this out.
Yes, you can. Yeah, anything with those, like push to mute is the golden key, because if the other streamer thinks that it's like, oh, the person's muted, because I have a little like I have minimized Discord to a very small square where I can see it, and if I see that person's muted, I'm like, oh, okay, probably talking to chat. I'm a professional streamer. I know how to talk to my own channel. I'm gonna entertain for a little bit, right? So, well, sometimes. It's like I'm gonna entertain them. They come back like, okay, well, I'm back. Let's start doing stuff and whatever. I don't see anything where that hinders the stream at all. But again, like you guys are saying, it has to do with the comfort of everything happening.
Yeah.
One thing that gets talked about a lot is, and I compare this I compare this to like sponsored streams and sponsorships and whatnot. You almost never really get a sponsorship from somebody you just approached like right then and there, right? It takes some time and nurturing and developing a relationship between you and the other party to say, hey, we know each other well enough to where I'm comfortable working with you, you're comfortable working with me. And that goes, I think, along the same ways as a co-stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely an etiquette to doing the multi-streaming, like once you've made the approach, for sure. Like, you know, you don't want to be an open mic and like, hey, thanks for the sub, thanks for the tip, thanks for the follow, like, you know, into that other person's channel, like, you know. And on the other hand, you don't want to like completely ignore the person you're playing with to talk to chat the whole time too. And I would say like another thing is finding channels that are compatible with your rules. For me, that's very hard because I am I am clean with my language, and a lot of the people that I'm friends with or that I want to play games with, like, they swear, and you know, I ask them to, like, you know, try not to swear as much, and I try to warn chat like, okay, this is going to happen for this event. So I definitely try to find more people that are cleaner with their language when I do that kind of stuff. But it definitely is it's a tough balance.
I just wanted to point out as well, like someone's just pointed out and reminded me of something that I wanted to ask you guys and your opinions. Like what do you three think of if a viewer or another streamer was potentially just randomly got into a game with you or was part of your community or chat, and they were playing a game with you, and then they just started streaming, but they didn't announce that they were playing the game with you, and they didn't want to multi-stream, they're just playing the game and then decide to stream. What are your opinions on that? Because to me, that comes down to etiquette again. It's the streamer etiquette. And so I feel like a lot of people don't.
Yeah. I feel like when I'm playing with my viewers and I'm not playing with someone that I know streaming, I am open mic. So if you want to pull that, like, you're listening to my stream in your chat. Like, I think that definitely is like not cool to do, because it kind of seems like that person's coming into your stream trying to play games with you to boot up their stream and, like, you know, get that attention. But like, if I don't know you're streaming, like, and like you're doing that, I'm open mic with my viewers, so they're gonna hear me talk over them.
I think there's one thing to say. Does that person normally talk about who's on their stream with them to a different, like, to Twitter or whatnot, and then they just don't do it for you? That's just personal stuff, right? It seems like you guys might have a relationship problem going on. If the person just doesn't announce it because they just don't feel like talking about everybody that's on their stream all the time or not having, I don't see it as a huge deal. But that again goes back to your whatever relationship you have with the person. If it's new, and you're just maybe trying them out on your stream, you may not want to fully announce it because maybe you don't know them a ton, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if okay, let's say you find out that someone else in your group is streaming, like, and they didn't say anything. Like, on the other hand, like, you know, they just didn't want to advertise their stream, which I actually think is very respectful, right? Like, they're not like, hey, I'm streaming. And, like, because that's also not cool too. So it's like, if I find out, like, someone's streaming, like, and we're in the group together, like, I'll put on my push to mute. That's totally fine. I'll be like, go check them out. Like, you know, if it's a genuine interaction, you know, whether, like, they're a regular of mine, I think that makes a huge difference too. Like, if it's like random Bob, you know, 23 that just joins my game and then is like, hey, I'm streaming or something, then I'm like, I don't even know you. But if it's like, okay, like, you know, like Greggle joins my game and he's a regular of mine, if he was streaming, or I would even ask him, I'd be like, hey, are you streaming? Like, you know, that's.
So was the question more like,
right, I'm getting
they happen to be playing with you and then they spool up the stream because they're in your group and they're hoping to get, is that?
I don't think that was the original question.
No, I think, like, for instance, if you're just your community, so not somebody who's a streamer in general or somebody who wants to collab with you, someone who is just part of your community, part of your, you know, your chat, and you're doing a multiplayer game, and you're like, let's say you're grouping with a load of subscribers and viewers, and they just end up streaming in the background, but there's no prior warning to that. They don't announce it, so to speak, or want to multi-stream, but what do you see as that? Do you see that as kind of rude? Do you see that as a,
you should always, I think it's a Twitch thing, you should always be told when you're being streamed live to other people. That is a thing that has to happen. Now, I thought the original question was, you guys agreed to stream together, you guys set up a stream time, you're like, we're both going to stream, that was fully understand. They just didn't talk about to their community that they're going to be streaming with you. So I thought that was the question. If it's something that's like somebody spooled up a stream and you guys are together and you don't know that they're streaming, and they definitely didn't make it obvious or tell you or what have you, and you've been playing with them for a while, that actually I think has to be something, because it's partially your content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but I thought the original question was, you've set up, there's actually a stream going on, a multi-stream, and they just didn't set up a multi-stream, right? Or a multi-stream link or something like that. I don't always set up a multi-stream
that's
link.
Different. Yeah, that was different to the one. Yeah, but you get it now.
Yep.
Awesome. So Cristiano asked,